Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and I hope your weekend has started well. Now tonight my camera for some reason is doing this high contrast type thing where I do a little experiment where I hold my hand in front of the camera, and usually that resets it so that the brightness is better, but it keeps on going back to this kind of thing. So it looks like I've got black hair and my top is black. So we're just gonna have to deal with it tonight, or I'm gonna show you actually what happens. You do this with your hand. I say you do this, I do this, let go, and now it goes light, everything's normal. And now we go gradually back to being black again. So I don't know why that's happening tonight, but it is. We're just going to have to deal with it, but you can hopefully see me and hear me. And it shouldn't affect the live stream too much. Anyway, hello to you guys in the live chat room. Let me get you guys up on screen. And you might have noticed we have a hoodie on today. It's getting a little bit cooler here in the UK. I don't know what temperature it is, but it is cool enough to have a hoodie on. But things might... Oh, I can see in that live chat room. Hello, everybody. Somebody said that... Oh, it's Billy saying my shirt looks wet. It's not wet. It's Jimi Hendrix's hair. So, yeah, that's just a... I mean, it's actually relevant because... I had a bit of an interesting hair situation yesterday where my hair remained wet for a long time because I was going to dry my hair, and then my hairdryer, which is probably, I don't know, 20 years old, something like that, it decided to kind of explode and there were sparks that came out of it. Obviously, I was in shock. I threw it to the ground and luckily I was in the bathroom, so it was fine. Actually, it's plugged in outside the bathroom, but then it has a long lead so I can dry my hair in the bathroom, so it is safe. But anyway, because it's such an old hairdryer, it exploded. Luckily the sparks missed my head, otherwise it would have been a Michael Jackson situation going on and I might have had a lot less hair for tonight's live stream, but it was okay. It then meant that today I didn't have a hairdryer, so I had to dry my hair at my sister's house. So I drove there, washed my hair, dried my hair, and then had a bit of dinner. Saw my nephews, obviously, and then came back here. So, interesting hair journey. So my hair's not wet, it is dry, and my t-shirt is not wet, it is dry, but it's, now you know, Jimi Hendrix's hair that is at the top of my shirt. So thank you for that, Billy. Let me have a look at you guys in the live chat room. We have Laurelie and Kim and Tammy, Brooke, Jill, Alison, Corey, DCMC and Marcus, Falion, Julie, Celeste in there as well, Bonnie, Scott and Sam. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me tonight, and we've got to really start things quickly tonight because we have a likes goal tonight that I think it might be the highest ever. Over the last few weeks I think we've been having it a little bit easy on Saturdays because Carla has been setting the target, I think, at about 100 less. And I don't think that it was really an intentional thing. Just Carla said that she's been mentally absent recently. So that's why. Anyway, it means that tonight's target, the likes goal, is set at 435. Which is huge, and that's got to be closest to the biggest target ever, if not the biggest target ever. Maybe you guys can let me know in the live chat room as to how big that target is. It seems like it is huge, so we're looking for every single thumbs up that we can get. And in the live chat room, I sometimes just see comments that fly through. Oh, and this is Tammy that's about to go through saying purple lights, and this is something that I always forget to do. So here we go. Actually, let me see if I turn on the lights whether that changes the camera to then go light. Is it an LED light thing in the background? We are light and it's staying light. There we go, we have sussed it out. It's the LED lights in the background that make the camera stay with the correct brightness. So anyway, Carla says that it is the largest total for tonight. And I've got a delayed feed on my screen So all I just saw was this massive hand on the screen, which was me just doing that test a minute ago. But this is great. We're learning all the time. So thank you, Tammy, for letting me know that the lights weren't on. And now that I know that the lights result in, obviously, things being a bit brighter and the brightness being set to the correct level, which is great. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen as well. Try to keep everything organised tonight. And with the patron scroll thing at the bottom, that's gone through straight away correctly, which isn't something that always happens. So the software is running well. Fingers crossed. The brightness will stay the same and it is all good. So we are going to be aiming for this biggest ever target, 435. Let me get the likes up on screen. The likeometer is saying 154 likes so far. 155 likes. So if you guys can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated in order for us to maybe get up to the total of 435. If we do hit that monster total, it means that we'll have a pick roulette next week, but it is the biggest ever. So if we don't quite make it, it is understandable. Anyway, because of the hair drying situation around at my sister's house, something that I did notice is that her hairdryer was a lot less powerful than mine and a lot less hot. I think maybe because my hairdryer is so old, or it was so old, and now it's kind of exploded so it doesn't work anymore. I think because it was so old, maybe they didn't have the regulations that they have now, because it used to go really hot. I mean, so hot that you couldn't really have it very close to your hair because it would almost burn the skin underneath. So the good thing was that it dried my hair very quickly, but the bad thing is, yeah, it probably wasn't particularly good for my hair. But with my sister's hairdryer, it took about 20 minutes longer, but it was a lot cooler. And I don't know whether it's kind of more of a Beatles type look with the fringe we've got going on, but I did have a haircut yesterday, so that might be part of it as well, that I can now have the fringe without it being long enough to get in front of my eyes. So that is a good situation. How long that will last, I do not know. Probably, knowing my hair, about a week or two, and then we'll be back to being blind. Right, let's get organised. Right, I always say that you don't have to donate during these live streams. Of course, just joining me is fantastic, so thank you for your company tonight. But if you cannot resist donating, then the percentages are up on screen now through the super chat window on YouTube. They take between 35 and 45% of each donation, and on the PayPal breakdown, it's between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal. And if you want to do things that way, there's a link in the description below, but like I said, you don't have to donate. And just as we start the live streams, we usually get straight into those donations that came in before we went live. And this is in the super chat window to begin with, because those ones disappear. It was Jennifer who donated first with $7. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And the message is, or was, Phil, is there a floor/ceiling in the UK as to how little or how much a band is paid for a show? Do the prices change in other countries? Thanks. So, I mean, I don't know for other countries because I can only really attest to playing here in the UK and in London. But for original music, unless you're actually signing contracts, pretty much independent bands and artists such as myself, you won't get paid for any live performance. So that's the floor in relation to your question. That's the floor. You get 0. And if you're playing at a wedding, playing covers, generally there'll be an agreement, there'll be contracts where you'll get a certain amount of money, and then you have to agree whether that amount of money is going to, be enough for you. But the only downside of that is that you're playing other people's songs all night, but the upside is that you will get paid. But for me, it's a bit of a trade-off whether you want to just keep playing other people's songs and get paid, or whether you actually want to have your own songs out there and people maybe listen to your songs and buy your CD and all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's very difficult to be a covers band and then still have enough time to do your own music and put enough time into your own music that it requires, because I think in order to be a successful independent artist, you've got to pretty much spend your whole life trying to do it. Every single second you get, you have to spend trying to promote yourself, trying to get your music out there, and yeah, being in a covers band. And to make enough money to break even, you have to do quite a lot of gigs, especially if you're considering the fact that you've got 4 or 5 people in your band. So everything that you do get, say you get £1,000 for a performance, that means that if there's 5 of you in the band, you're getting £200. So you think, well, £200, yeah, is not very much. If you're doing maybe 1 gig a week at the weekend for a wedding, then what's that, £800 a month? And especially with today's prices and the bills and electricity and gas, you're not going to be able to, well, not only not pay for that, but rent, is pretty much, I'd say, between £1,300 and £1,500 a month here. So you're getting half your rent a month by playing at the weekend, as you would normally do with if you can get 2 bookings at the weekend, maybe a Saturday and a Sunday, then that might just cover your rent and no bills and no food and no petrol. So you can start to see how difficult it is to make enough money in order to just survive as a covers band playing weddings. So yeah, it is really difficult. And this is when you're playing covers and you're getting paid. So if you imagine as an independent artist, if you're getting £0, that's not going to pay your rent or any of your bills or any of your food. So this is why I think it's probably going to make more sense to have a job and then just try and do all you can outside of your working hours to make it work, because then at least you can finance your own career and hopefully get to a point where it's financially viable for you to then quit your job, because you're making just as much money as you do with your job, but with your own music and your independent artistry. But yeah, so in terms of the floor, zero. Everyone's used to that here in the UK if you're in an original band. And the ceiling, there isn't really a limit to it, because you can have a contract that has anything on there. And I've heard of ridiculously wealthy families who want a particular artist to perform at their wedding or their huge event, and they might pay £500,000 or something. They will offer something crazy. So, or even £1 million. I think George Michael got paid maybe £1 million to do a gig at some point, or maybe it's $1 million, which works out as less here in pounds once you convert the money. But yeah, there's no upper limit to it really. If somebody really wants you to play at their event, they can offer you anything that they want. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And Orlando has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Orlando, before the live stream started. And the message is, I am the 11th Spike. Spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. Great idea there from Orlando. If you can hit that thumbs up, it would be great. Aiming for 435 tonight, a ridiculously big total for this live stream. We will see where we end up. It's just gone over to 200, so maybe we can get a quick spike of the likes going on. Thank you for that, Orlando. And Paul has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. The message is, Orlando's sidekick says, spike the likes, all y'all. So thank you, Paul. And let me have a quick plug of the mug going on, because that's what we always do with Orlando and Paul. If you guys can see that, let's see how they get on. And then on the other side, and there we have it. So you can get your hands on any of the merchandise. I'm a bit merched up tonight with the mug and the hoodie as well. This is the zipped hoodie, as you can tell. We do have other hoodies that don't have the zip, but caps, pretty much everything that you want to have drinks wise. We've got tumblers as well, which keep your drinks cold and hot if you want to keep them cold and hot. So we've got t-shirts as well, other merchandise over at wingsofpegasus.com/merch, picks, necklaces, earrings, all that kind of stuff that Carla does over there. But you'll be able to find the links that you need in the description below. You might even be able to see some of the items in a tray underneath this video, so you can just click on one of those to go through to the store, and then you'll be able to find all of this cool stuff. So get your hands on a Wings of Pegasus hoodie, especially as it's getting a bit colder here in the UK, and I assume it is everywhere else in the world. Maybe it isn't, but it's a good time to get your hands on a little bit more warmth with your clothing and a little bit warmer merchandise than the t-shirts, but maybe why not? T-shirt underneath a hoodie. Perfect. Right. Let's get into the donations actually that happened before we went live over on PayPal, and I do address all of the donations. So we're going to start off with Drew, who donated £5. So thank you for that, Drew. And that was at 26 minutes past 2 on Wednesday afternoon. So thank you for that. And Roderick donated £3 as well. Thank you for that, Roderick. And just moving up, because we had another donation that came in. This came in from Roseanne. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And that was for £50. So a very kind donation. It just took me a little bit of time to see the name on the screen because it was in a slightly different place. And I think PayPal has now switched to this new kind of display that we do get with each donation. But thank you for that, Roseanne. And Richard donated £3 and 27 pence. Thank you for that. And that was a straight up donation. Nicole donated £12 and 46 pence. Thank you for that, Nicole. The message is, hello Phil, bonjour de France. I fly over the English Channel to listen you. Great weekend with my love for the British rock scene. Cheers. So thank you for that, Nicole. And that was at 6:46 this morning. So thank you for that one. Steve has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Steve. The message is, a lot of people spend a great deal of time mugging and posing for the audience while playing. How does that affect the ability to play at the highest level? So thank you for that, Steve. And it's an interesting one. We have touched on this in analysis videos before, that pretty much if you're looking to get your technique as accurate as possible on the fretboard, then you need less movement in order to do that. And it's why you'll see a classical guitarist always with the guitar in the same position, and they won't be moving around too much. But then, you know, when you are very well rehearsed and well practiced, you can start to move about a little bit more. I think sometimes what is misleading on YouTube is that people record performances in advance and then they film the video playing what they have already played, and they're moving around a lot, but they're not actually playing what we're hearing. You know, when they played it, they were staying very still, but then they are now effectively miming, pretending to play along just for the video portion to put it on YouTube. So this is another thing that you have to understand, whether what you're watching is live or not, because obviously when you're watching a video, people then start to move around a little bit more for the entertainment side of things, and that's always going to be the trade-off between accuracy and entertainment. Because it is entertainment and people do want to be entertained, then you know, you have to try and do that a little bit as much as you can. And it obviously depends on the event that you're attending. If you're watching somebody perform at an event where they are performing a classical piece, then people want to hear that piece played as well as possible, and they're not worried that the person is going to be sitting down, keeping very still and not running around the stage sliding around on their knees, because that's not the way that pieces like that should be performed. But when you go and watch a band who are known for entertaining, then it's just that trade-off between playing accurately, putting on a show, and there'll be certain parts within a solo where you move around less because you know that you have to focus a little bit more on technique. But then for other solos, there'll be techniques that are very easy to play, and that's why you see guitarists move around more, sometimes have the guitar behind their head and holding up vertically, all that kind of stuff, even though when you do rest it vertically, it means you can get more of a stretch on the guitar. So that's a little bit of a misleading pose because it does make it easier to play, and that's something that Slash does. He puts his leg up on that fold-back speaker so that it makes the guitar now in a fixed position, and he gets more of a stretch for his more technical elements. So yeah, makes it slightly easier to play. But every guitarist has something that they do that isn't really a trade-off between entertainment and playing technically, because they know where to get their guitar in order to get access to the techniques that they want to have. And sometimes you just, simplify solos, especially if you're ad-libbing and kind of jamming out a solo, extemporizing, then you can start to, throw caution to the wind a little bit more. So generally, the more you move around, the less technical you can play, but you can still, if you are well rehearsed, you can still play pretty technically. But when you're getting into, classical pieces, then that's going to take a lot of concentration, and you want your guitar neck to be in exactly the same place as it was when you rehearsed it. If you start moving around in your live performance, then the strings are moving as well, and your muscle memory is not used to that. And this is why when you rehearse and you move around a lot, your muscle memory is getting around to, or getting used to moving around with the guitar neck. So it will be more accurate with that. So you can rehearse it to a certain extent. So thank you for that, Steve. And I'm just going to scroll up because Tammy has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, is there another musician like yourself who you've mentored or trained, with a smiley face? So thank you for that. And I don't know, I would say that when I was teaching guitar and I'd have students who were in bands, then they might ask me things about live performances or what they should do. Sometimes we'd rehearse effectively songs that they were going to be performing, and we'd work through particular songs and particular sticking points in their set. So say for example they're going to perform 6 songs and they've got a performance on Saturday, and then they come for a lesson with me on a Wednesday or a Thursday. We'll go through their set or the songs that they're struggling with in their set, and they'll have a particular section where they'll say, okay, I'm struggling to sing this vocal phrase with this part of the song, where it might be arpeggiating a chord, for example, with picking on the right hand. So what we'll do is work through that particular segment of the song so that they can sing and pick through the chord or the series of chords at the same time. And that's what we spend the lesson on, because I'm pretty much into whatever the person needs for them to improve, whether it be as a guitarist or just an overall performer or an artist. If they say, right, I'm struggling with this live, can we work through it? Then we will work through it. And I just try to help them as much as I can as to how I, do those kinds of things. If I am picking through a chord and I'm singing, there are things that I focus on that make it easier for me to do that. So I just kind of teach them my techniques of what I do, and then help them through so that they can perform in a more natural way on a few days later. So in terms of mentoring, I wouldn't say it's really mentoring. It's just helping people perform and play their instrument, and maybe with their singing as well, all that kind of stuff, all the stuff that I've worked on in my years as an artist myself. So as for mentoring, I have been asked, I don't know how many times, but relatively regularly, about mentoring a younger artist, whether I can listen to their performances and help them improve. Recently, I think maybe last week, I was asked about somebody who was asking on behalf of, I think, their grandchildren, maybe something like that, or maybe their grandchild was in a band, and it was a point of, when they rehearsed, they were great, and it was all fine, but when they played live, they couldn't connect with their audience, or they couldn't put on enough of a show. And I think they're probably like a teenage band, and the one thing that they did say was that when they rehearse, the songs are fine, but they're just rehearsing, and when they play live, it's like they're rehearsing. And I think it was that they looked at each other too much. So my advice for that was for them to approach every rehearsal like a live gig. And I think I've mentioned this on an analysis video in the past, where you want to make your rehearsals as close to the live performance as you can. Generally, when you play live, you face the audience, and you don't really have the luxury of being in a circle. This is what loads of bands do, especially young bands. They're in a rehearsal space and they all look at each other, and you might even have the drummer in the middle of the band, which, you know, is fine if you're just working on tightness and you're not working on a show. But if you're working on playing live, you've got to simulate what you can do to make your, you know, or you've got to simulate what you're going to be doing live. So what you can do to make the rehearsal as accurately reflective of your live performances. So that's something that I used to do with the band. Was I set up in the middle. We'd have, you know, Griff, who you guys know, on the right hand side. He'd be playing guitar. You'd have bass on the left hand side, or yeah, I think that's pretty much how we organized it. Griff wanted to be on the right hand side, and then me in the middle and the drummer behind me. So it meant that we're now rehearsing, having to make eye contact with each other, looking at kind of out the corner of our eye, rather than physically turning the whole way around. And potentially, if you turn too far, you're now totally losing the connection with your audience, because you're now just looking at your band. So yeah, this is it. I mean, occasionally you want to turn around, interact with the drummer, all that kind of stuff, putting on the show, but not all the time. And that will just be something that starts to creep into your performances. If you're subconsciously facing each other all the time when you rehearse, you'll start to do that live. So yeah, that's just an example of somebody who's asking for advice. I wouldn't really call it mentoring, but just advice about playing live. Rehearse like you are going to play live, because then when you come to play live, you're already used to it. You're not going to get as nervous, because you know that you can do this, and you know everybody's in their positions. And if anything, it gets used to you hearing the band as it is. You might not be able to hear the guitar on the right very clearly. You might not be able to hear the bass very clearly, but you can always hear the drums really clearly, because they're right behind you. Take my word for it. So you start getting used to the mix of playing live and just being able to hear things on stage as they will be on, you know, in rehearsals, but as they will be on stage, you know. So you're already used to so many things. You want to simulate live performances as much as you can, and if you can rehearse in a slightly bigger room, even if it costs a little bit more money, I would suggest that if you want to rehearse in a small room because it's cheaper, do that to get tight, you know, to get your rhythm section accurate, to, you know, get your timing spot on. But then before the show, just rent a slightly bigger space so that you have got that ability to face a wall if you need to, but just all line up. So anyway, yeah, that's what I would suggest. But anyway, that's just an example of that kind of mentoring thing. But I don't have time, unfortunately, to mentor young bands or young artists, but I will give advice as and when I am asked for it. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Kim has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Kim. And the message is, let's scroll down. With everything you have going on, do you have any time to write music? So thank you for that, Kim. And not at the moment. It's not something that I'm spending time on writing any new material, because it's still just me doing everything. I'm just trying to keep up, and everything's going really well at the moment with, you know, sales of the original album that I've made called Persistence. So I think as long as my music's getting out there, I'm not too worried about, you know, having to write another album. And this is the other thing, that because I'm in control of everything myself, it means I can decide as and when I do that. And I think at the moment it's just too much of a commitment to write a whole new album, because the first one took between 6 and 8 months. So it means that I would potentially disappear for that amount of time. And I know that, especially on YouTube, you have to keep that ball rolling and, you know, keep making videos, keep, you know, doing as much as you can. And it means that I would miss out on the live streams with you guys on a Tuesday and a Saturday, which I would miss. And I would also not be able to do the interviews, you know, such as the interview I did recently with Karen, you know, shredding on the flute, and Mike Dawes as well. So yeah, when I did that with Carmen, you know, and, you know, Carmen did actually send me an email, which I just replied to before this. So, yeah, it's great to interact and have this contact now with Carmen and Mike, which I didn't have before. and I was talking with Buck Dharma yesterday or the day before, I forget, but he's really busy with Blue Oyster Cults at the moment with their shows in New York, so that's great as well. We might be able to organise something for the future on the channel relatively soon, maybe, because they're going to be playing here in the UK with Deep Purple. That's going to be at the O2. I'm also going to be going down to see Billy Idol with Steve Stevens. I'll be meeting up with Steve, and that's at Wembley Arena. So yeah, all of these things I know I wouldn't be doing if I was writing a new album. And like I said, it's not something personally for me. It's not as if I don't have any music of my own and I just really want to get my own music out there. I already have my album out there and the Running Blind single, so that's all available at wingsofpegasus.com/music. So I think as long as people are downloading my music and listening to it, that scratches that itch for me as an original musician and as an independent artist. So I'm fine with that. I mean, it'd be great to do something else in the future, but I know that in order to do something in the future, I'm going to have time available, which I don't have at the moment because of just the fact that I run everything myself. And I think people don't necessarily appreciate that when I say I do everything myself, I literally do everything myself. And people might not think that it's possible with, 270 odd thousand subscribers. But this is why it takes quite a lot of time, but it is important to me to reply to every message, get through the emails or the messages through my website as well. And chat to you guys in these live streams. So it's something that I will continue to do because I do think it's important, and it just makes it a little bit different for me to be able to interact with you guys live. And personally, I think it's something that's a lot different to maybe other channels who have, quite a lot of subscribers where they might have a team of people that help them to do it, and you might be getting a reply from someone who isn't actually the person, and they just say, oh, thanks for your contact information, but due to the amount, this is an email that I've received loads of times when I was trying to get my music out there and talking to DJs and other people that might be in bands or record labels, you'd get an instant reply that would say, thank you for your email. Unfortunately, due to the volume of emails we receive, we are not able to reply to everybody. And they never reply, and it's just a standard email that goes out. And that actually, if one person, i.e. me, can handle the emails from over 270,000 subscribers every day, then a team of people have got no excuse. It is just, in my opinion, is putting business before the relationship with the fans. Because, if I can do it, when a whole record label have a team of people, even a team of people that are to do with marketing and media and emails and answering and websites, dealing with all of that. If I can do it by myself, as well as organising everything else that I do, there's no reason why people can't do it at a record label. But it is just focusing on the money, and we know that they focus on the money and they're not really bothered about the relationship with the fans who are actually allowing the artist to do that. And it is something that I sometimes see an artist who I know doesn't reply to any messages, and they always say, oh, it's so important to me, the fans, and the fans are so important. And I think, well, if your fans are important, then reply to them, just spend a bit of time talking to them, and maybe do a live stream where you talk to people, or have a Patreon where they can message you directly and you answer all of their questions. It's something that I think it's a bit, for me, it's a bit far-fetched, or maybe stretching the truth a little bit to say my fans are the most important thing to me, but they're not so important that I'm going to answer all of their messages. So I think that you can tell the artists that really do appreciate their fans, because they do answer everybody, and the other ones who don't, they just offload all of that, and you don't really spend any time interacting with their audience, which is a shame, but that's just the business, and that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. But I will still be here doing the live streams as much as possible, and even when I'm not physically here, I'm still going to be doing some kind of video. Or next week, for example, I'm not going to be able to do a live stream, but I have asked my patrons over on Patreon. Actually, what I might do is do a post here on YouTube asking you guys any questions you may have for next Saturday's live stream. There's going to be a live stream, but in the form of a premiere video that I'm going to be recording earlier in the day. So I'm going to look at any questions you guys have. I'm going to be doing the live stream maybe as I normally do, but probably, if there are any questions about guitar and that kind of stuff, I can get the guitar out, demonstrate some stuff. But it's going to be exactly like this, but obviously without the live chat room because it's going to be a premiere, so it's going to be next to the video. But it's going to be like this, and I'll just be answering your questions. We'll probably have the pick roulette, all of that normal stuff. It's just going to be a little bit different because I'm going to have to record it earlier because I won't be here in the evening. So again, it's something that I still want to have on a Saturday night and not just totally disappear from the channel, because I know that you guys, have an opportunity to get together on a Saturday night. It is very much a community thing and a community event. So we're still going to be doing that next Saturday, and look out for that post. I'll do that on YouTube so that you guys can ask me any questions that you want, and then I will get those in next week's, I was going to say live stream, but it's a premiere video, but I think it'll run like a live stream pretty much. And the other thing is that there's only going to be a pick roulette if we hit the target for tonight. So for next week's pick roulette, please hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. It'll be massively appreciated because we're trying to get to 435, the biggest total ever. So yeah, it is hopefully, I don't know whether it's going to be possible. Fingers crossed, we will see. Somehow it's 20 to 1 already in the morning here in the UK. And we're at 293 likes so far. So quite a ways to go. Is that 142? I don't know. That is just a random number that just went into my head. So it might be right, might be wrong. I don't know. I'm not very good at maths. So maybe it is. Anyway, we're looking for a lot of people to join in with the live chat room. We will see. But if you can leave a thumbs up if you haven't already done that, that would be great because it really helps this channel to grow, but for this live stream to get out there as well. But thank you, Kim, for that donation and the question. I'm just going to get the PayPal window up on screen because I think we're now a little bit more up to date. This came in at 9 minutes past midnight tonight. Thank you for this, Maria, for £1.71. The message is, hi Phil, as long as we can see and hear you, we are okay. Laugh out loud, which we can. Spike those likes, everyone. Great idea there from Maria. As I just said, hit that thumbs up, be much appreciated. And Kim says we've gone over 435 before. Yes, but I think that was probably like a New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve live stream. I believe the target is, sometimes you might have gone over 435, but the target has never been 435 before. It might have been 430 and then we went over 435. So tonight is the biggest target that we are aiming for, or that we have set. So yeah, we will have to see what happens. Thank you, Lillian, as well, who has donated £17 and 10 pence. And the message is, hi Phil, this is towards a new hair dryer. Rock. So thank you for that, Lillian. And yes, I'm hoping that I will get one tomorrow and that it was just one day off from not having a hairdryer. But I mean, I am... this is the big news. I was just going to say, I'm fortunate that I can drive to my sister's house and it's only like about 25 minutes, half an hour drive. But finally, I have a new car charging unit thing. And this is, I say this is great entirely sarcastically because I got a call that woke me up, and it was, the guy on the phone saying, I'm going to be at your house in 5 minutes and I'm going to replace the charger. And this is after having not heard anything for like 2 weeks. So I had to quickly jump up, obviously get the hair out of my face and get ready to open the door. But yeah, the car charger has been replaced, so it means now I can charge my car, which means I can now go to my sister's house to dry my hair. So yeah, lots of things had to be organised in order for that to happen. But yeah, that's just a couple of days ago that I got that replaced, and I did charge it last night and it worked. And I think I'm going to charge it again tonight because yeah, I've been to my sister's. That was, yeah, it's a bit of a drive away, but fingers crossed that the charger will keep on working. I mean, the guy that replaced it, he said that the one that I had is like a new model that is like the new model of this company that used to make the old model, and he says that there was nothing wrong with the old model and now there's something wrong with the new model. So sometimes it does seem to be the case that anything that gets updated with the new and improved, what they really should say is the new and less reliable, because it is new and we don't know how long it works for because the technology hasn't been truly tested yet. So yeah, and now I have been rolled back to the old version, which is working at the moment. So thank you, Lillian, for that donation for a hairdryer. And Karen has donated £4.27. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, I know a wee bit of palm reading. When you showed your palm, it appears that you're not stressed out from what I saw. I guess that's to be expected from someone who exudes joie de vivre and provides us a happy place. Thanks for what you do and for being you, with a smiley face. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, I don't know anything about palm reading apart from maybe the one that goes across the palm. Is that like your lifeline or something? I don't know. So yeah, this is the thing. I think on both my hands, the line underneath is kind of split. Actually, on both of them, I don't know, maybe halfway, maybe 3/4, maybe maybe that's the point at which in my life so far everything started to take off and things started to go a little bit better because yeah, it was quite a long time with nothing happening, and then it split off and started going in a different direction. So yeah, that's what I have in my hand. I don't know whether that means anything because I don't know about palm reading, but thank you for that, Karen. And we have another one that's coming from Rebecca for £8. So thank you for that, Rebecca. And the message is, celebrating 8 months since my nasty arm injury, minus £1 per month. I'm about ready to seek those paying gigs. Wishing you the same recovery sooner rather than later. So thank you for that, Rebecca. And yes, an arm update at the moment. I mean, fingers crossed, I would have to say that the last, I think maybe 3 or 4 days have been better. I annoyingly had that thing where some fats landed on my hand from cooking bacon, and yeah, it spat up, landed on my hand, and then with this arm, I kind of, threw my arm back and injured my arm because it wasn't ready for that, but it was a reflex, so I couldn't help it. But since then, I would say that my arm is at the point now where it's arguably the best it's been. But I mean, it's the best it's been because I'm just not, doing too much. I'm just doing everyday things with it and, not kind of exercising it other than doing the exercises that I've been given by the physio. He's told me what to do. So I've literally been doing those exercises, I think, for probably maybe 6 months, something like that. And every day I do make sure that I do them every single day. So it's just a case of keeping on with the exercises, and I am mentally prepared to not be able to do anything exercise wise for at least the beginning of 2023. But like I've said on the channel before, as long as I can play my guitar, then yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that. I think with guitar technique, like some of the stuff, for example, that Mike Dawes, he does a lot with the right arm, and it's so important, as we said in the interview, that it's all about that right hand, and he throws his arm all over the place and hits the guitar. I think I wouldn't be able to do that with my tendon, but I can, strum the chords and pick the strings and, do tapping on my electric guitar. So, I mean, that's okay for my right arm at the moment. So for my own style of playing, it's good. So I can actually play, and that's just the thing that I was most missing, or I'm most worried about, playing my guitar. But that's okay. So now I'm just letting it do its own thing, keeping on with the exercises, and hopefully by 2023, early 2023, I might be able to get back to just exercising it a little bit and gradually build things up to strengthen the tendon again. But yeah, I mean, just full range of motion without any sensitivity would be good, because I don't have that currently. At the moment, I can outstretch my arm, but I still have a slight tight feeling kind of where the tendon is. So especially if I've, had my arm kind of bent for any duration or any extended duration, so it means that when I then put my arm out straight, it's a little bit more sensitive, but not painful, I wouldn't say, just more aching than anything. But we are at a point now, fingers crossed, if I can avoid fat and hot things landing on my hand, then hopefully I will be okay to continue the recovery. But thank you for that, Rebecca. Right, we do have a vote going on that I haven't even mentioned yet in that live chat room, because 62% of the vote I can see has gone to Sweet Emotions so far. The other song is In My Dreams by Dokken, so we'll keep an eye on that one. But it is 10 to 1 in the morning here, so we will be jumping into that relatively soon. I know that there have been some super chat donations as well, so thank you guys for those. I'm just going to refresh the screen to make sure that I didn't miss any before or after Jennifer's donation. It was Orlando, I think, that donated afterwards, or it might have been after Paul. And yes, it was Orlando who donated $2 again. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, hello, everyone. Paul is the man. So thank you for that, Orlando. Get Some J has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, thank you for word guff to my household. I annoy my wife with it. It's awesome. So thank you for that. And yeah, the great thing about guff is that it can be edited and, changed for different situations, circumstances. Like, you can add an ing, like get out of my guffing face, all of that kind of stuff. And the good thing is, the whole reason that I say that in the videos is that when I'm at my, or I should say, whenever, it doesn't really matter whether I'm in my parents' house or just with my mum, that I just have to say all of these things that sound like swearing, but they're not actually swearing, because I can get away with it, because swearing is not allowed. Any curse words are not allowed in my mum's presence. So therefore I had to get creative when I was younger with the things that I could say when I was annoyed, or just to pretend that I was annoyed to annoy my mum. Because as I've said before, I would say something like, oh, what a guffing idiot. And then my mum would say, Philip, as if, to reprimand me in some way. But then she'd realise that I haven't actually said anything bad. It's just more about the tone that you use. You can really put some meaning into these guffing words if you want to. So thank you for that, Get Some J. And you're welcome for the words to use to not swear but sound like you're saying something bad. Jennifer donated $7 as well. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, Phil, you are right. Older hairdryers make more noise and are hotter. Those artists who like to jump on stage or off of one, isn't that dangerous? So thank you for that. And it depends. If you're jumping off a stage, and usually what happens is when there's a stage, if it's a big venue or maybe it's a festival outside, you then have a section for the photographers. So you might have a bit of space in front of the stage. And if that is the case, if you're jumping off stage there, you're going to hurt yourself, because it's usually a bit of a fall and there's nobody there to catch you. But if you're playing on stage and there are people right in front of the stage, then you can jump onto them and they'll catch you, hopefully, unless they part. So it's always going to be a bit dangerous. You are trusting yourself with the audience that they're going to catch you. So it is, but it's all about whatever you want to do. It's your own performance. I'm sure that you're not going to see that kind of thing at a chilled out and reserved folk performance, for example. But when you start getting into hard rock and metal, then you start to have more chance of crowd surfing and having an artist who might jump on you as the crowd, and you have to support their weight. So thank you for that, Jennifer. Jean has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Jean. The message, it's not a message. It's one of these super sticker things, and it's the Lemon Man with, I don't know what that is. Well, it looks like a trumpet with maybe another person following. I can't really make it out, but thank you for that, Jean. And Jennifer has donated $4 as well. Again, thank you for that. The message is, Phil, are you doing Halloween this year? And I don't know, because I don't even know when Halloween is. I have to check calendars for the dates, because for me, every day is just the next day of it, achieving whatever I'm trying to achieve for that day, which is usually just trying to keep up with everything that's going on. So yeah, I don't know when Halloween is, but I'll have to see when it falls. I think in the past we have had like a Halloween live stream, because it's fallen on the day of Halloween or the night of Halloween. So yeah, if it falls on a live stream night, then yeah, we'll have another Halloween theme. But if not, then yeah, I'm not sure I'll be doing anything for Halloween myself, because I'll generally just be making a video or doing something else. And if it is a live stream, we will theme it. But by the way, we are still looking for some thumbs up. If you guys haven't hit that thumbs up in the live chat room so far, that would be massively appreciated if you could do that, because we are aiming for 435, which is a huge total, and we are really in a race against time. We've only got about 20 minutes, so we will need one hell of a spike of the likes in order to get up to that total. But we will see. 435, so that means we're looking for 107, is that? I think maybe 107 more likes, and it looks like we just got a little spike of the likes in that live chat room. Thank you guys for this, because we've now gone to 99. We're looking for 99 more people. So yeah, thumbs up, we'll see where we end up. Thumbs up, we'll see where we end up. That's another catchphrase. I have to try and remember that for future live streams. So thank you, Rebecca, for that donation. And I'm just going to scroll up, because Judith has just donated £21.36. Thank you for that, Judith. And the message is, love your channel. So thank you for the kind words as well, and for watching. That goes for everybody, just for watching, hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, all of that cool stuff. And for you guys over on Patreon as well, I always say that, these people at the bottom of the screen are really the foundation of everything that I do, and allow me to do these videos on YouTube. So thank you guys, you know who you are. But yes, spike the likes. Judith, thank you for that. And Judith has donated again £10, so thank you for that, Judith. Again, the message is, you're awesome, your channel is fantastic. I played a third violin Al City Orchestra in Southern California, 4th, 5th and 6th grade. Fell in love with music because my father was in music. Anyways, I love the way you teach, I love the way you analyze, and your videos, which is fantastic. Thank you so much, keep it up. Well, John, brilliant. So thank you for that. Well, John, or well done. Brilliant. So thank you for that, Judith. Unless Judith is keep it up. Well, yeah, I'm assuming that Judith is Judith and that is done a spell check, and not that Judith is John. But thank you for the kind words, even more kind words, and just for checking out the channel is great. And thank you guys for watching and just supporting. Even just hitting the thumbs up on a video is great, because I know that it helps with the algorithm, YouTube, and how it ranks videos and suggests them and all that kind of stuff. So all of the interaction really does help the channel hugely. So thank you, everyone. I am just going to scroll up, because there's another donation, and this is coming in from Janice, who has donated £4.27. So thank you for that. And the message is, love all that what you do, Phil, or love all that you do, or love all that what you do. Now, I can't even make my own sentence make sense in English, but thank you, Janice, for that. Probably love all you do. So thank you for that. We are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, so thank you guys for voting for this one. And I'm assuming it's still going to be Sweet Emotion, but just to make it official, I'm going to end the poll, draw it to a close, and it was Sweet Emotion that had 61% of the vote. So Let's get this up on screen where I'm joined by Chris Law and we attacked this one, and Chris has been on the live streams before, but thank you for voting for this one. I'll see you guys in a second. Rock!
1, 2, 3, 4.
And there we have it. There was Chris and I with our version of Sweet Emotion, just kind of rearranged for 12 string, 6 string acoustic, a little bit stripped back. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Right, we are going to be jumping into tonight's pick roulette, and I did put a message into the live chat room to see if anybody wanted to sacrifice themselves for the pick roulette tonight, and the first one that I saw was from Maria. So Maria Day is the top tip for tonight. We are going to be jumping into that now. It's 2 minutes past 1 here, so we're going to have to keep things organized. Let's jump into tonight's pick roulette. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! Right, and I was a little bit late with my rock, getting clicked on the button a little bit too early, and yeah, obliterated my entry into the pick roulette. Anyway, let's get this up on screen and stop talking. So here we have the pick roulette. If this is your first live stream, hello first of all, but if this is your first pick roulette, here is the wheel, and you can see the darker segments that we have here. Let me, if I can actually find my pointer. These are the t-shirt roulette. So if we land on one of those, then we have a separate wheel where you go away with a signed, custom-made Wings Pegasus t-shirt. But we're going to be landing on hopefully somebody's name. We will land on somebody's name, even if we land on the t-shirt. And I'm having a look on the wheel to see if I can see Maria's name anywhere. I can't see it at the moment, so I think we're just going to give this a spin. And we're going to see who's going to win. Maria is the top tip for tonight. And this is the only way you can win a signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So, I mean, much coveted as well. I'm sure everybody wants. Some people actually have 2 Wings of Pegasus signed picks because they're very, very lucky people indeed, winning the pick roulette twice. But we are slowing down, and I can't see Maria's name anywhere. So it looks like we are going to be on. Is it going to get as far as Dwayne? And it is! Dwayne is the winner tonight. So, congratulations to you. If you can, let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room. That would be much appreciated so that she could get all the details from you in order to get that pick sent off to you. Commiserations to Maria, the top tip for tonight. And you guys in that live chat room who didn't win, but as I always say, if you want to double your chances of winning, then you can enter on Tuesdays as well, because we have a pick roulette on Tuesdays whenever we hit the pick roulette lights goal. So congratulations again to you, Dwayne, and you have to be in it to win it. So if you're not in the live chat room when your name pops up, if it does land on your name, then unfortunately, yeah, we can't get your details from you, and we won't be able to get the pick sent off to you. But yeah, congratulations, Dwayne, commiserations, everybody else, and let me try and get everything organised on the screen again, and it should be back to me now. Right, I think we're pretty much up to date with everything. Maybe, oh, there's another PayPal donation, so let me actually go to the right screen. Here we have it. It is Jerry, who has donated £12.82. So thank you for that, Jerry. And the message is, finally caught your live stream. Sweet. Hello from Turlock, California. Thanks for, or Canada, or was California CA? I'm not sure. Thanks for the music, analysis, and conversation. So thank you, Jerry, for the donation, and yeah, just for making it to a live stream as well. It is much appreciated. And I mean, hopefully, I mean, maybe you guys can let me know, or maybe Jerry can let me know whether it's Canada. I think Canada is CA, because I remember writing on the albums that I send out as to where it just says CA, but then I write the whole, Canada out just to make sure, or whether that is somewhere in California. I'm not sure. So yeah, my geography isn't the strongest. So thank you for that, Jerry. Right, we are at 381 likes at the moment. We are approaching, unfortunately, the end of the live stream pretty quickly, so we're looking for every single like we can get in that live chat room, because we're aiming for 435, biggest target we've ever had. So I mean, it's understandable if we don't quite make it, but if you haven't hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated if you could do that, to not only help this live stream to get out there, but to hit the target to have a pick roulette next week. Right, let me give a plug of the Facebook supporters page as well. If you are a Facebook user, you can head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Join in with that. Join everyone in this live chat room between the live streams, and the after party is hosted there by Vince. Sometimes there's Zoom calls as well, so you can get involved with that side of things if you want to. And I think we are pretty much up to date with the PayPal donations. I know that there have been a couple in the super chat window. It was Jesus, who I'm just taking a gamble on the on the pronunciation, but thank you for the donation. It might be Jesus, but thank you, Jesus. I'm not sure. It was a $30 donation, so thank you for that. And that might be Mexican dollars. I'm not sure. I think it's the first time we've ever had Mexican dollars. It's MX. So that's the only thing that I can think of that springs to mind. But thank you for that. And it's the guy, it's one of these super chat picture things. So thank you for that, Jesus. And it's the guy doing the fist bump, hitting the fist together. And Karen has donated $5 as well. So thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi, Phil. Halloween falls on a Monday, and please don't make racing against time sound like you'll turn into a pumpkin Laugh out loud. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that donation. And if it's a Monday, that means technically the live stream. Oh, if it's on a Monday, it means that the live stream will be on a Tuesday. So yeah, it won't really make too much sense unless I guess it's going to be, if you're in the USA, it's going to be on Halloween evening. So we might be able to get away with, even though technically it's Tuesday here, just pretending that it is Halloween evening for people in other places. And I mean, I guess maybe we can, we can force it. I'm not sure whether it's going to work, because actually the Tuesday live stream is on a Wednesday here in the UK. So it'll be on a Tuesday, obviously, because it's live stream Tuesday. So yeah, it falls on it's going to fall on an admin day, which isn't a very interesting day at all, which is a bit of a shame. So we might miss out on that. But thank you for that, Karen, for the donation and letting me know when Halloween is. Right, it's 10 past 1 here, so maybe we'll jump into a riff of the week to give you guys a chance to, I say enter in for next week's pick roulette. We're still aiming for 435 likes. That is the biggest ever target. I'm not sure whether we're going to make it, because we are going to be calling things to a close very soon. Let's jump into a riff of the week to finish. Why not? So I'm going to be looking into that live chat room to see if we can get some numbers going off in there to pick a riff that we're going to be listening to. Between 1 and 100, that's what you have to do. And that's what I'm going to be looking out for in that live chat room. So let me get rid of the PayPal donations, because I need to use that same screen in order to grab the updated list. And there it is from Laura. So thank you for sending me this list, Laura. And I'm going to click on that. Right. Let me have a look into that live chat room. We have some numbers going through. And Nora says 48. Have we had 48 yet? Let's have a look. No, we haven't. So Nora, that was a good guess. Instant guess that number 48 we haven't had. So let me go riff of the week 48, and there it is. So let me click on that, stop it from playing, hopefully, and yes, and there's no advert on it, which is good. Let me get the screen capture thing all organized so that you guys can see it as well. Get the screen on my screen. There we go. So everybody listen to this riff. We're just looking for you to name it in the live chat room, and we just want the name of the song. You can name the band if you want to, as long as you get the name of the song in there. So let's see if I can remember what this is, and let's see if you guys know what it is in the live chat room. So tonight's riff of the week, let's have a listen. And there we have it. So I'm looking for you guys to name that riff in the live chat room. And I'm just going to wait, because it might take a little bit of time for the riff to go through. But then again, sometimes if it is a long riff, then some people have a chance to get the guess in there. And I think this is, even though I said this was like a beginner riff, which I think some people will know what it is, I think it's Rainbow always goes through in the live chat room. It's not Rainbow, as it pretty much never is anyway. And I was going to say this might be difficult for you guys to guess, because it's more of a UK based band, or a band that are very well known here in the UK. And Vince goes through saying Hysteria. So that is correct. And I'm just, Carl has said it as well. So yes, well done, Carl. And it's Muse, by the way. I'm not sure whether you guys know the band, but yeah, Muse are the band, who are a UK band and very popular here. I think they're popular around the world, but I don't think they're like really huge in other countries maybe. So that's why people maybe don't know the Riff, or maybe they know other songs by Muse but not that particular one. So congratulations. I think it was Vince that came up with that. But then let me just have a little scroll up as well. I can see that Karen says Hysteria as well. I'm just going to go up. Yeah, that was I think Vince was the first one to get it. Oh, Peter, look at Peter all the way up here, said Muse, and it is hysteritis. That's Carla said Muse is Hysteria as well. So I think I just wasn't concentrating when those went through. And I think that was the earliest one. So yeah, congratulations to you that knew who it was. And what was it? Hysteritis or something. Yeah. So we've got a little bit of a new disease, I guess, from Peter as well. So thank you guys for playing Riff of the Week. I'm just going to have a little scroll down to make sure that we get back up to date. And Paul said Wisteria, so not quite. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It looks like we're not quite going to reach the goal, so we're going to be looking at you guys in the catch-up crew in order for us to get to the total that we're looking for tonight's live stream. It doesn't mean we're going to have a pick roulette though, unfortunately, because that's only valid if we hit the target during the live stream. So we are going to be calling things to a close. And I'm going to be doing another video tomorrow, so check that out tomorrow night. We're going to be live streaming again on Tuesday night. And remember, next Saturday, we're going to be doing the live stream premiere video. So that's going to be a little bit different, but I think it's going to be interesting to do it a little bit differently. I will do a post on YouTube just to ask you guys for maybe any questions or something that you want to do during that premiere video. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. And as I always say, I hope you have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. But a huge shout out as well to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job throughout this live stream, but just all of the live streams on the channel and dedicating their time to keeping that live chat room such a great place to be and keeping the community feel throughout all of the live streams. So thank you guys for all of your time and efforts. We are going to be ending the live stream now, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. And yeah, just have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and the beginning of next week, and I will see you on Tuesday night live again. Hopefully you can join me then. Rock!